Good morning. Hey, everybody. It's me again. Welcome to ParaMystic Podcast. I'm here with my amazing co host, Glenn Boddice, all the way from Mansfield, England. So, Glenn, how are you?
Hiya, Kristina. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to connect with you and to answer your question. I'm doing really well, thank you. Feeling refreshed after a
Awesome.
marvelous weekend away recently. And how are you doing? You
I
keeping
am
well?
doing well. Yeah. We had some fun this weekend, went out, took some pictures. I've been practicing with photo and video editing, and
Mm.
video's a lot trickier for sure. But working on it. And then we went to a women's professional volleyball game and then out for drinks with friends afterwards on Saturday. So yeah, it was a good weekend. It was nice.
It's nice to hear that you're not working too hard like you normally do, and you're taking that time back for yourself
Yeah.
to integrate back into society.
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh my God.
Bless you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what's really come to me is that regardless of situations, we all have to find joy, right? So I'm looking for ways to find joy. I'm doing art therapy, which is brand new to my brain. So
Nice.
that's interesting too. But yeah, so getting away for a weekend definitely helps. Definitely
Mm,
helps. But
definitely.
our topic today is the importance of joy, and it is so important to find things that bring us joy. And I know that with what I've been going through lately with my health and stuff, it's been a struggle to find joy. And I know you've been through some tough stuff lately too. And how have you been finding your joy? Because I know I mean, although you have a new relationship, so that automatically kind of brings joy. But
Yeah, that's put a sparkle back in my eyes, I'll be honest.
it has, I can see it.
But oh, bless you. But yeah, it hasn't been easy to find joy. I mean, it is with us all the time. It's the fact that we masquerade all of these facets of ourselves over it, and we have to dig deep sometimes to make our way through all of that mire to get to the joy. And I would say it's getting out of your own way and stop believing the thoughts that are projected in your mind, because not every thought is necessarily yours to own or investigate. It's just surface area noise. And like we say, it can be hard work depending upon how far you're willing to relax and let go. And I
Yeah.
think that is the key to connecting back with your joy, because we try to figure so much out ourselves, don't we?
Yeah,
We
we sure
think
do.
we've got it covered, and no, we're just getting in the way a lot of the time. So that's generally how I find my
Right.
joy or
Right.
reconnect with it.
Reconnect. I have actually reconnected with some joy through the photography because, as you know, I love taking pictures. But now I've got a better camera that my husband lets me use because actually it's his camera. But
Oh,
but it's a very nice Nikon. It's for 35 millimeter.
oh,
Yeah. So I have been finding joy again in pictures and in taking pictures and photography. And a friend of mine suggested that maybe it's good enough to put on the market. So I've been looking at ways to, put some of my photographs because I've got tens of thousands of photographs, not all of them great, but finding ways to do that and just really the joy that I take in finding things because when you're looking for things to find joy in, you tend to find them. you know?
yeah, I was going to say, reminiscing back to our adventures last year, you
Yeah,
always had your camera out and you saw
always.
the perfect shot every time. You managed to capture the lighting, the vibe, the mood, and it really told a story every photograph that you took. So I'm not surprised that you are taking it to that next level. And I would say that yeah, taking it further, you could definitely get it out there as stock footage where other filmmakers, producers can also connect in with that joy and that vision that you naturally have and have it in their work as well. And you get the joy of receiving in a monetary sense for your time, your natural gifts and abilities. So yeah, it does not surprise me at all.
That's
So I
kind of
wish you the
a,
best of
yeah,
luck.
that's the kind of thought. And, what a lot of people don't remember or maybe didn't know
Mm,
is that, in a previous incarnation in this lifetime, I was a professional top photographer. So going back to that has been really, I forgot how much joy there was in that creativity. So for me,
mm.
that's where I've been finding a lot of my joy lately. Getting up at the crack of dawn and going out and, photographing the sunrise with the lighthouse and, all that sort of thing. So yeah,
Wow.
that's where I've been finding a lot of my joy. And then just gratitude. Gratitude brings so much joy. Just grateful that I can do that. you know,
Yeah.
Grateful that I live
And
that close. Yeah.
and I suppose the first thing that enters your mind when you're getting up at that sort of time of day is like, oh, shall I just go back to bed? Oh, I'm not sure. But there's something inside of you that ignites
Yeah.
that joy and passion that says, no, come on, you've got to do this. You've got to do
Yes.
this. And when you do that activity, like you say, you're just overwhelmed with the joy and appreciation for that experience.
Absolutely. And getting up at 4 a.m. and going, well, I did this last year. I can do it now. When we were getting up at 4 a.m. and going out to shoot
Oof.
film, to shoot video was, yeah, it brings me back to that, which also brings me joy because my trip to England, I still go back. I look at all the pictures. I feel,
Oh.
the way that I felt when we were doing that and the scary roads that we were on sometimes that are about this wide.
I was telling my partner Becky about that because we was in the van, and obviously we drive on the opposite side of the road to you do in the
Yeah.
States. And
Yes.
so, like you say, when we was driving down these country lanes and you've got overhanging trees and bushes just hitting the van, you was going, ah,
I was.
ah! He was a little bit jumpy. You
I
thought they
was.
were going to come and get you. It was funny.
I don't know. Some of those branches were pretty big. That was a little scary.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
So
times.
yeah, adventures really for me define joy. It's I love adventuring and I am excited to at some point get back to adventuring. So yeah,
Good.
looking
Pleased to
forward to
hear it.
that. Yeah. Um, Defining joy, it's and really what is the difference between joy and happiness? Because I think we tend to think they're the same thing. How do you
Hmm.
feel about that?
For me, just linking into the feelings of both of those words, I would say joy is more of a present moment experience,
Okay.
where all of your senses are in alignment and you're just allowing to be here now and just embrace that. Whereas happiness to me is more of a long term effect of the repetition of experiencing those present moments of joy. And so, happiness to me is, yeah, it's more of a projection in time. It's
Okay.
looking into the past there as well, and also embodying all of those, direct experiences there. It's a collection of joys. That's the way I would perceive it.
Excellent.
Happiness.
Excellent. Yeah, as you were speaking, what I was thinking was like happiness is sort of a state of being that helps us find joy. That
Mm,
kind of a I guess I sort of narrowed down a lot of words.
beautifully done, as always.
Oh, what is it with getting on camera with you and my nose itching? Jeez. Um, yeah,
Well, it's certainly not me tickling you because was it 2,000 miles away?
four, 4,000.
Four. Okay. My maths has always been bad, and I've just demonstrated that live on this
Math and
broadcast.
geography.
That as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention in any of those lessons.
No, because you were in Wembley Hall. That's where you were during math and geography, if I remember correctly, if I said that correctly. Um, yeah, I feel like happiness is a baseline. It's like a, we can be happy with ourselves even when there's difficult things going on in our lives. You know, it's there's just that happiness that we are with ourselves that allows us to go and find things to be joyful with. My grandson, funniest kid. Oh my gosh, he just makes me laugh all the time. He's so joyful just in being himself. He's always humming and singing and just
Oh,
really happy with who he is. And
yeah.
and fortunately, he got the musical stuff from his mom's side, so he's pretty much in tune the whole time he's doing it, which is a joy for
Oh,
me because I'm like,
I bet.
wow, I'm a whole lot older than he is. I still can't carry a tune in a bucket. So I love listening to him do that. And for me, that's such a joyful thing. But it's because he has that baseline happiness with himself. And
Isn't it marvelous though when we watch children? They can teach us so much, can't they? And if we just take a minute of stopping worrying out of our vibration, just go and watch children playing and interacting with one another. And like you've just mentioned there, it just lifts your spirits, doesn't it?
it
Knowing what's
does.
what's going through their minds, why they're so happy. And yeah, it's beautiful to
Yeah.
watch.
I never question why he's happy. I just am grateful that he is. you know, he's just such a joy to be around. And he's, again, very funny. He's very funny. So he tells me, kindergarten jokes, and the way he tells them just makes me laugh. You know,
He's got that perfect timing,
he
has he?
does. He does. Perfect comedic timing. Perfect.
Now, has he still got the gift that you bought him last year? I think it was a farting ninja.
Yeah, that ended up at mom's house. Thank goodness.
Oh, yes, because every time you walk by it, it would let one slide, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah. But I just couldn't pass it up because I knew he'd love
Oh, that's good to hear.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I'm just kind of going down our list here and now kind of shifting the energy a bit, but
Yeah.
the phrase thief of joy, you know,
Oh, yes.
and what are, I think a lot of people are pretty familiar with kind of that whole thief of joy thing. And a lot of people really give their power away to other people, and say, oh, that person's a thief of joy, but we don't have to give it up, right? Although sometimes it can be a little tough.
Yes, yeah, because a lot of us are polite, kind, and friendly.
Mhm.
We allow people to chat with us and shoot the breeze and all of that, not realizing that on some level, our energy has been drained from our essence in that moment.
Yes.
And sometimes it can be somebody that is passionate and joyful about their, say, activities or their projects that they're working on. Yet to us, it sounds dull as dishwater. And yet they're talking about it. And the more they talk about it, the more we nod our head and we say, yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We start to drain. We don't wish to be rude or anything like that, but sometimes it can get you like that, can't it?
Hmm.
With people. I know I've certainly noticed people in conversation with me, and you can see their eyes glazing over. The head starts to. Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think you did. But yeah, it can come in that way. It can come in other formats, can't it? Where people
Mhm.
are intentionally and I don't want to cast the finger of blame or, judgment towards people that do this, but some people intentionally go towards people that are a little bit high vibrational, hyperactive, have lots of energy, and they change the subject, the conversation piece, and they drop the mood entirely, and they take it down a negative slant. And in
Yes.
doing so, that can sap the living out of you, can't it?
Yeah. Yes, it can. It
And
can. Yeah.
sometimes it's so difficult. You try your best to quickly change the subject to get it on a higher vibration, more, energetic topic, but then it's battered back down with something else. These people are masters of doing that. And I want to say on some level, I feel they know what they're doing, and they walk away whistling zippity doo dah, zippity a, and we're left in a lump on the floor.
Yes. We can call those people thieves of joy, but another phrase for that is energy vampire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where people can just suck us dry. And I have noticed that, especially this weekend, that my husband was giving me his energy to keep me going.
Wow.
And I'm like, ooh, it was a lovely thing to do, but I don't want to be an energy vampire. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes my energy just drops. I mean, I have to be a lot more careful with balancing activity and energy at this point. So we had a pretty full day. And by the end of the day, he was giving me a lot of energy, and I could feel him giving it to me. I'm like, you need to stop that. And he's like, no, I need to get you home before I stop this, because you're just going to drop if I don't. And it is really nice to have somebody this close in my life who understands energy transfer. And to me, it's like, I don't want to be a thief of his joy, but I don't feel like I was, because he was intentionally giving it. And I think that sometimes you and I do that too. Well, we're both parents, right? So how often have we over the years intentionally given our energy to our children because they needed it?
Definitely. Yeah.
So there's that comes into it too. Another thief of joy. Finances.
Oh, don't mention the F word in this house.
I know, right? But yeah, it can be tough, and especially lately with the way the whole world economy is just kind of flipping upside down, and and everything else with it, as we're going through this shift from 3D to 5D. 3D is just rearing its ugly head in a big way. And it's kind of knocking a lot of people over, and it's hard to continue sometimes to carry joy or carry happiness when you're much more concerned about paying the bills. You know what I mean? Like, I know you can speak to this too, because things have gotten more expensive where you are as they have here.
Oh, yes, definitely. And to the point where I'm now working 3 jobs just to sustain normal day life. You're not doing anything extravagant or anything like that, just to live.
Yes.
And I don't know about yourself, but I feel that I don't want to bring the mood down, but I do feel that this has been done by design in order to control and harvest vibration. But yeah, things have been getting tougher. And this is, like we said at the beginning of your show there, this is where we need to move all of those distractions and noise out of our vibration, and just dive in deep to our true authentic being, which is joy.
Yes.
And it does take some digging, that's for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I know that you and I both have businesses that run on our energy. When our energy is down, we don't have business. When our energy is up, we have more business. So
it's funny you should say that. It has been an observation over these past few months, definitely.
Yeah, where we have to somehow find a way to keep our energy up in order to draw in more business. And I know that for myself, through this whole ridiculous health thing, that it's been hard to do that. It's been hard for me to keep my energy up. It's been hard for me to be able to follow through on some things, just because I can just nod off at a moment's notice. I can just fall asleep because my energy just flatlines. And I know that it is frustrating sometimes, but our energy, or our businesses, run on energy. And because our businesses run on energy, so do our finances.
It's interesting, but to say to you though that sometimes you do have to listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not being selfish, getting the rest that you need and the recuperation,
Right.
because you know, like you've quite rightly said, it has an impact not only on your business but your family, your friends,
Yeah,
the way that you make an income as well. It is all connected, so it all stems from ourselves, doesn't it? And just being
it does.
observational of what we need when we
It
need
does.
it. And I think the hardest thing is actually accepting that and
Mm-hmm.
actually being open to energy, open to, do you know what? I'm not going to work today. I'm just going to listen to my body and get back in tune with it. And that's a really difficult thing to do, particularly somebody like yourself or myself that are designed by the universe to always work and always show up and, you know, have plans, you
Right.
know, that, yeah. So
Right.
well done to you, first of all, for doing that and
Thank you.
listening and holding
Yeah.
space for your business and for yourself. A
Yeah.
great amount of effort.
It is a balancing act. It's a balancing act.
Mm,
Part of my finding my joy also has been really honest with myself about that. And I know I'm about to dive into some really deep, raw stuff here, but I've had to rephrase things for myself so
okay.
that I don't feel like a failure. Right. So instead of saying I'm tired all the time, I can't keep up, I have decided to just declare myself semi retired. And to me, that has a lighter
Okay.
tone to it. That has a lighter tone to it. So when I'm not able to keep up with my previous energy level, it's like, well, today I'm retired. I'll go back to work
I
tomorrow.
Why not use the term sabbatical? So you're not retired, you're
Yeah.
not over the hill by no means,
Oh,
but
it's
you're
a
just
temporary
taking,
situation.
yeah, you're taking a rest, a
Yeah.
well-earned rest, a
I'm on
sabbatical. That's all
sabbatical.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the term sabbatical, and I've been using that too. Like I've been on sabbatical. But the thing is that I have discovered that when I say I'm on sabbatical and I say it out loud to people, they're waiting for me to tell them I'm done being on sabbatical, and I forget to do that.
I'm with you. Yeah, yes.
I forget to do that.
Well, you're
So,
enjoying it too much. That's why, and you're allowed to.
well, no, I'm ready to go back to work, and then there's no work because everybody thinks I'm still on sabbatical.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, what would you like to bring up about this topic? Because I know we kind of went through my whole list pretty quick, except for the last one.
Okay, so joy and happiness.
Yeah.
Joy for me, it's all down to perception, isn't it? To the individual, you know, what one person finds amazing, somebody else, as we said earlier, finds really dull as dishwater. So I feel as though it all stems back to getting to know yourself and holding space for yourself and not allowing yourself to be distracted by technology, social media, websites, and even the football game or whatever your choice of sport is,
Hmm.
just to hold space for yourself, maybe one day a week or an afternoon in a week where you say, this is my time and I'm just going to allow myself to be. And in that process, you'll get, oh, I really enjoy watching that TV show. Oh, I really enjoy going out for a walk. And it's doing more of that, recognizing what brings you that joy, what aligns with you, and doing more of that. And that will sustain your vibration. It will keep you in that bubble. And also, as you've also said earlier, as your energy increases and expands, there's going to be more of that joy entering your life and it will be drawn to you, magnetically speaking. So, new opportunities, maybe new friends, new associates will come into your life. And as ever, in any one single moment, you have the power of free will, the power of choice. You can either choose to
Absolutely.
go with it, allow yourself to embody these changes and you know, embrace them, or you may be coming from a semi perception of fear where you're not quite ready to take that plunge, and instead you sink back into that comfortable chair and you're just working on you for a little while till you are ready. I would say there's no right or wrong answers. It's just down to you as an individual. And when
Mhm.
you get to know yourself and honor yourself, and I think that's a very important term, honoring yourself, because as we
Yeah.
know, there's many people, we have friends and family around us that say, come on, why aren't you coming out at the weekend? Come on, we want you there. Part
Mhm.
of you feels that you have an obligation and a responsibility to attend, even though you're not feeling those vibes. But part of you, your true essence is saying to you, come on, you need to hang back a little. You need to connect with self, relearn who you are as an individual. And why I say that phrase relearn
Mhm.
is because, as you know, we're all constantly evolving and expanding on an energetic basis. And no 2 seconds that we experience are the same vibrationally, energetically, even though we assume that they are, because the way that we perceive things are very slow pace in
Mhm.
comparison to the nature of the universe. But we're constantly changing and evolving. And so I feel to do yourself a good service in this game that we call life would be to to sit back and just be here now with yourself, and don't beat yourself up about it. What you enjoyed maybe last week or maybe 2 years ago, you've outgrown it, that activity. Maybe if it's drinking or the food that you like, no longer, lights your candle anymore. Then be honest with yourself with that. Even if you have to eat your own words and eat humble pie in front of family and friends, it takes a very strong, brave, and courageous soul to put their hands up and say, I know I used to say that, and I know I used to like that, but it's not for me anymore. I
Yeah.
don't enjoy it. It's not lighting my candle anymore. And the minute you admit that to yourself and you're confident about sharing that, if you want to, with anybody that asks, then this is where you connect into that high vibration of joy. And this is where the universe can magnetically draw more things towards you that keeps you in that expansive joy vibration. So it's very much down to, if you choose to do so, personal responsibility. But I assure you, those of you that are listening and watching this beautiful episode, when you do take that time back for yourself, it is almost like you're paying it forward, not just for yourself, but for your family, your loved ones, your friends around you. They're going to notice a shift and a difference in your vibration. They'll benefit from your energy, not as energy thieves, by the way, but they'll,
Right.
they'll just feel more open in your vibration. Because let's face it, when we've been around people that haven't done this deep dive work and got to know themselves, as someone like in their presence, we feel slightly uncomfortable. We can't put our finger on why we feel uncomfortable around this person, but there's something where we want to make an excuse and say, oh, I've left the kettle on, I've left the oven on, I've got to go now. We come out with all these excuses, and this is simply down to the fact, I believe, that we don't understand what's happening. It's the energy, it's the interaction and interplay or lack of that we're experiencing. And that's why we want to make our excuses to, say, our safe space, our home, our vehicle, where we do feel more comfortable. So I
Mhm.
know I've kind of gone down several avenues with this
Which
topic, but
which I love because you brought up some really excellent points, and, one of
thank
them is
you.
what, our producer Gwen has put into the comments is be in the
Okay.
moment,
Yeah.
being in the moment, which is something that you brought up in that too, and, again, I'm going to rephrase the words, but yeah, boundaries. Stating your
Yeah.
boundaries, which is, you said that too, saying, "Well, I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm not really understanding, like what changed here, but I'm not comfortable with that." And I know a lot of my friend group is shifting around too. Like the people who have been very close to me, some of them are
Yeah.
back backing away, and I'm backing away from some other people, not with intention, but
Hmm.
just with energy, just realizing that, oh, I haven't talked to that person in a while. And then you talk to that person, you go, oh, that's why I haven't talked to that person in a while, because the energy no longer matches,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it,
sometimes people have different lessons in life to learn,
Mhm.
and you're not a part of that curriculum, shall we say, in
Yeah,
that environment. And so the universe, just shuffles things around until things are back in harmony again.
right.
Um,
Right. That's a really good way to put that. And understanding that joy doesn't always mean to be excited. Sometimes joy just is peaceful. Sometimes joy is just, you know, just
it,
relax. And
yeah, I think what you just did there, that is a great example in itself. That just letting all of that angst and that energy and
yeah,
that sort of adrenaline like leave you and just be here now with yourself. It's
right.
very refreshing in itself, isn't it?
It really is. I don't know about you, but I have reached a point in my life where I'm just done pretending to be somebody else for anybody for any reason. I mean, I'm still polite. I'm still, out there in
Mm.
society doing what I do, but I'm not going along to get along anymore. And that has brought a lot more peace and joy into my life where it's like, well, that's great. You know what? I'm so glad that you enjoy that, but I'm not going to join you. Hello, I knew the word was there somewhere. I'm not going to join you in that, but I really love that you love that, and um, I think that that has been for me another way to hold my energy and also experience joy in the things that I want to do, you know?
Yeah,
And
and it's nice that you put that high vibrational statement in there. Being happy for people
mhm,
and genuinely meaning it. Some people say, "I'm really happy for you," and that's not the full intention behind that statement. But
right. But
yeah,
meaning it,
to meaning it is where the healing and where the energy is gifted, isn't it? From
it really
from that
is.
person.
It really
Um,
is.
and it's like you say, it's good to know that difference of what brings you joy and what doesn't.
Mhm.
Like you said, setting boundaries and not being afraid to voice that anymore and stand in your own vibration, even if you're in the minority of one. And as you know yourself, that can be very demanding, very taxing and challenging when you have to face that in your vibration. But everything works out for a reason, I believe, and
Yeah.
you'll learn more about yourself in that space. And again, which will enable you to connect back in with your joy because you've reevaluated who you are.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, it's a beautiful feeling.
It really is. It really is. And I find joy in just letting people be who they are. I don't have to like every single thing that my friends like, right?
Yeah, I
Great.
get that.
You want to go to a football game? I cheer you on. Go ahead. I'll be over here reading a book. Thanks. you know, because it really does is about, what brings each of us joy. And I really think that when we can stand in our power and do it comfortably, it's not confrontational. It really is about the love. It really is about honoring who other people are while honoring who we are. And when we can do that, I think the more we do it, the easier it gets. But initially, it can feel like, oh, I'm really afraid to stand up to this group of people that I've known my whole life or
Mm.
whatever it is. And the more that we do it, the easier it becomes to do because that also kind of helps to sift out the people and bring in other people who are very much, even if they have other interests, it's really more about allowing everyone to be who they are. And I feel like that
Mm.
is where a lot of the friendship shifting that I'm seeing not only in my life, but in other lives, other people's lives. When we can just allow each other to be who we are and not expect someone to have all of the same interests that we do, or to deal with things the way that we do, or to, it's I was talking to a friend a few months ago when I was just really in the thick of dealing with this illness, and uh, she's like, you know what? They have the places that you can go to where you can just break things. I'm like, I don't want to break anything. That's
Oh,
not
wow.
me. But
Mm.
some people feel better when they get aggression out and they just break things. Like they have plates and dishes and stuff that you can just throw against walls and break things.
Uh, just out of curiosity, this isn't a Greek restaurant, is it?
No.
Oh, I just thought I'd ask for a friend.
Nope. Asking for a friend. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what these places are called. I know that my friend had mentioned it, but I'm like, what is that? No, I'll just go out in the woods and scream, thank you. That's enough for me. I don't need to break things. But other people release energy that way, release anger that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would be breaking things and going, great, now I have this mess to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
Why do you think I'm a drummer? I
I know,
transmute that
right?
energy that way.
What a great way to do that. What a great way to do that. I sometimes I'll pull out my handheld drum, but it's a ceremonial healing drum, so it's not the same kind of getting aggression out.
Mm.
It's more of a soft heartbeat healing kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
that's when I pull those drums out when I need them for that reason, is to do that. And I just think that allowing ourselves and everyone else to just do it the way they do it is a beautiful thing that can bring joy and happiness to other people as well.
And if we think on the grand scheme of things, energetically speaking, we're all droplets from the same ocean, aren't we? And so allowing it, like you said, all of those droplets to experience their journey, their individual journey, but knowing that all of that information, that joy, that happiness is not just on an individual basis, it feeds back into this giant ocean of energy that we all are part of. So not only do they benefit individually from that purpose and that experience of joy, but it feeds back in so that we all benefit as a collective, and it shifts and raises the frequency of, I would say, the planet based around that. And an example I could kind of give along these lines, and I'm going back many, many years with this. I don't know if you recall, there was a project called Live Aid, and it was
Yes.
global back in the mid 80s, I believe. And it was quite a mean feat because it was transmitted live as it was happening all over the world. And you've got artists from that decade, the 80s, performing to help raise funds for this specific charity. But not only that, all of those songs, the vibrations, the frequencies, all of the people around the world watching that at the same space at the same time, all of that joy, passion, and enthusiasm that is going back into this ocean of energy that connects us all together. I mean,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I love things like that. Why
I
can't we
do
do
too.
more things like that? Just the sake of spreading joy rather than it having to be a cause or something. Do you know what I mean? I
Right.
think more of that would be good. I know people do collective prayers and they all agree to tap into source energy at a specific time. And they have a prayer diary that they all focus on as well. World service healing as well. That kind of goes into alignment with what we're saying. But I think that needs to be taught in schools and encouraged. And, that we can make a change, we can make a difference. After all, teamwork makes the dream work.
It sure does.
Hmm.
It sure does. Yes. Um, I agree with you, like I mean, you're in a band, so and you guys have been working a lot. So, you're out there
Yeah.
creating that joy for people. And
Well,
that
I
has
like
got
to
to
think so, hopefully.
that has to feed back into all of you as well. As you're creating joy, you're creating that cycle of bringing it back into you as well. And I love it when you've sent me a few little snippets of your band performing that other people have recorded like on their cell phones or whatever. And I just think it's beautiful. You are, first of all, you're very talented, and
Oh,
you're
thank you.
and your band is very good. They're, they're a really good band. And I just I love live music for that reason, being able, because nothing can stir emotion like music. It has its
Mm.
own special quality to stir music and bring joy to people. And if you think about it, like during the times in your life, maybe when your heart's been broken, what kind of music were you listening to? The kind that helped
Mm.
you process through all those feelings, right? So there's that kind of thing too. And music can bring so much joy to people.
Definitely. And it's a universal language, as
It
is
is.
love as well, isn't it?
Yes.
We don't need any translator for it. We feel into it. And, like you said, you kind of, you're magnetically drawn to whatever feels right for you in that moment. And I'm
Mhm.
a big believer, maybe it's because I am a slightly obsessed with music, that whatever you need, whatever frequency, whatever healing you need, can be found in your music collection. It's a case of you just being open, scanning your music collection, whether it's in the physical sense, CDs, LPs, or whether you've got it on your phone,
Mhm.
and just scrolling through and seeing where you're drawn to, the artist, the song, and without judgment, thinking, oh, why do I want to listen to that? Just put the song on, listen to it, and observe how different you feel as that song is playing out. I guarantee that this has happened for a reason. And many people call music medicine. And I believe this is part of the medicinal process of music.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. Yeah, it can really, and one of the things, it's like once we've lost our joy, how do we find it? And I think a lot of people do find it through music. I think a lot of people do find the joy that they seems to have slipped away through music, and also through other things, other things that we enjoy, or just getting some peace, you know, finding some peace
Yeah.
can bring joy. And I think that there's a really key thing, which we started this conversation with, and that's getting out of our routine, because the routine can also be a thief
Yeah.
of joy.
Oh, can it just? Yeah. Can
Yeah.
it just?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
and
getting,
you will
go ahead.
know, being an earth sign as well as myself,
Hmm.
that we have, in many respects, we enjoy structure in our lives, don't we?
Hmm.
Where we feel calm, we feel safe, and we know what's happening. And I dare say you've gone through this recently and you're having to come to terms with it. I know I have, of throwing the schedule out of the window and saying, oh, what the hell? Whatever will happen, whatever will, que sera, whatever will be. And just
Right.
trusting in that divine wisdom, and not being resentful when it presents itself to you, and turning out better than your original plan in the first place.
That not being resentful thing,
Yes.
oh, that can be a tough one. That can be a tough one,
It
and
stings a bit, doesn't
it
it? It stings the old
does.
pride. Yeah.
It does. Like, I had a perfectly good plan. What is with this monkey wrench? Like, what is going on here, And I know a lot of times for me, joy follows, maybe not immediately, but follows that place where I'm standing in my living room going, what do you want from me, at the universe, and just really, like, sometimes we have to cry out or yell out or whatever, that frustration, to get that angst and that nervous energy or whatever it is out
Mm.
of us, so that we can just go, okay, I'm okay now. And sometimes we just have to do that, and
It's interesting. Yeah, you should mention that. I know a few people that promote and practice. I believe it's a therapy called body shaking, and where they're just shaking out, like you say, all of that angst, all of that frustration. It could even be symbolic messaging that they picked up along their life that they didn't realize was there in the subconscious mind, and also, energy trapped within the body. And I suppose a lot of actors do this before they do on stage performances, or even musicians, and they shake all that nervous energy out. They may shout, like you suggested there. They may have a mantra as a collective that they do together, and they just shake all of that energy out. And it can be quite the release, so I hear. And you can get to that state of calm and relaxation, having let all of that energy escape out of you, giving it permission. And it was mentioned, I believe, that a lot of animals do this as well. For example, if they're afraid, or they experience interaction with humans, or trauma of any kind, if they get clipped by a passing car, what you'll find a lot of them do is that nervous energy, that adrenaline, will start to make them tremble and shake and judder. And then once they've got that out their system, they get up and they run off and go back to their normal day of living. And so they know a little bit more than us of how to deal with this, I think.
We can definitely learn from the animals. That's for sure.
I believe so.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if we have a whole lot more to say about joy, but I do know that joy is very often a choice.
Yes.
It's very often a choice. Are we choosing joy? And I think that sometimes we forget that we have that choice. I've seen myself do it. I've seen other people do it. We just forget. We forget that we have that choice, that we can in any moment choose to say, okay, is this really what I want to be feeling right now? Do I really want to be angry? Do I really want to be frustrated? Do I really want to be this tense? Like I need to shake this off and find some joy. And a sunset, a sunrise, the first bud on a tree in the springtime, there's always something that we can find that can bring us back to center, where we can find joy.
I believe so. And in the UK at the moment, because we've entered springtime here, there's some flowers called daffodils.
I love daffodils.
Have heard of them.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And they generally come out in springtime. And when they come out, they usually come out on the side of roads, on the banks there of a road, or on a public park. And you haven't seen these all year round. And then around this time of year, they just seem to evolve from nowhere. And the minute you see them, it brings that joy to your soul, because you know that sun is about to come. The weather's going to change. Hotter days are ahead, and we can all spend more time outdoors rather than being cooped up indoors to hide away from the weather. So in many respects, to me, that is a symbol in this country of joy. And when you notice them, you just feel different. You feel that sparkle of life back in your heart there.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys have been going through with weather, but last week, in the same week, we literally had a blizzard.
Wow.
A blizzard. We have not had an actual blizzard in this area in I don't even know how long. 5 days later, it was like shorts and t-shirt weather. It was 70
what?
degrees. Yeah. 5 days later. It was, we have had a total spectrum. And I know that has knocked some people off of balance. Like, trying to wrap your brain around that big of a shift. And I think 70 degrees is like, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but in Fahrenheit. And we were actually up to 75 degrees on Saturday. So,
wow.
And on Monday, the previous Monday, we had a blizzard. Even into Tuesday, where it was like still snowing and snowing sideways, like at 50 miles an hour. Yeah, it was crazy, right? Our bodies are just going, what on earth is happening here? But yeah, and I think that we need to offer or allow space for our bodies to be able to shift with what's going on around us. and
Do you,
whew, yeah.
do you feel that the human consciousness is capable for changing the weather?
Oh,
I know that the
absolutely.
Native American tribes used to do that and pray for rain, didn't they? So I'm wondering on an energetic level that people in your community said, we've had enough of this snow. We don't want this snow. We don't, this is not aligning with us. No, thank you very much. And
Yes.
that collective thought process and vibration shifted it right the other end of the scale where he was experiencing these heat waves.
Yes.
Just a thought.
Yeah. I fully believe that. Yes. I fully believe that.
Well,
Yeah.
with that being the case, can you send some of that weather over here in the UK, please?
We only had it one day.
Oh, well, one day will be enough for us. As you
Sure.
experienced last year.
Yes. Yes. We had some pretty wicked weather changes while I was there, and it was kind of the same thing here, but it came with a lot of snow. I know that
Oh,
my friends up north got what it was over 200 inches of snow. It was,
oh,
yeah, buried. Some of them
oh
buried for
no.
days. I couldn't get out of their house. They would open up their door, and literally the snow was packed against where their door was, where you could see about this much daylight above it. And they posted pictures of it on social media. Yeah. We didn't get anywhere near that. We only got about 14 inches here. But yeah, it was still,
Only that's enough. That would stop the UK in its
I
tracks,
know.
honestly. There'd be no transport or anything
I
if
know.
that was the
Because,
case.
yeah, but you guys aren't set up for snow like that. We are. We have these big snow plows and that sort of thing. And the UK doesn't have all that heavy equipment for moving snow around. But also, you have nowhere to put it.
No.
There's nowhere to put the snow. Anyway, so I do think though that the weather does affect some people. I think it affects a lot of people. A lot of people feel better when it's warm out and the sun is out and that sort of thing. I think
There's an illness, isn't there, tied to that? Is it something? I think it's called SAD. Is
sad
it called?
seasonal affective disorder. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, they have to have light boxes to
Yeah.
induce that sort of daylight, don't
Yes.
they, into their vibration?
Yes. Yep. So
Wow.
it is amazing though that when we're thinking about finding joy, I know a lot of people. Well, first of all, I love snow, so I'm all happy about snow. I'm good with it. I've got my little car that thinks it's a snow plow, and it's all good. Um, but a lot of people just feel better when the sun is out and it's warmer. And there are some places on the earth that don't get a lot of sun during their winter months. So, it does affect people. It's harder to find joy when you can't like get that vitamin D from the sun, or the whatever it is that's coming through. So I think it's important that we understand not only how to get joy, but also what affects us and kind of, I don't want to say prevents us, but makes it more difficult to find joy. So I think this has been a really good subject, a really good topic today.
I've enjoyed this
Yeah.
tremendously, and if anything, hopefully your listeners can take on board some of the things that we've spoken about. Maybe it's not in everybody's day-to-day thinking process what we've been talking about, but just hearing a portion of what we've been talking about might open that train of thought in your mind where you start to look into your own life and think, well, where am I assigning my energy to joy? And where am I taking that energy away from joy? And that in itself, as you've said earlier, this is where it is down to us. It's our own personal free will, our own choice. And when you're aware where you're leaking that energy or where you're taking that energy, you can make the choices that are in alignment with your highest good. And then this is where you're going to benefit from seeing that joy enter back into your life if it has been absent in previous times.
Yes.
So, yeah, hopefully you will find
Yes.
that.
Yeah. I think that we get so caught up in the daily grind, just the daily grind of life that we forget that we can choose joy. And I think it's an important reminder, and I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to bring this message to the world to remind us that we can be joyful regardless of what's happening in the world, we do have the choice to be joyful. And I'm sure that somewhere in the comment section, someone's going to argue about that, but that's okay. Let them.
Well, look at you.
Let them. Yes. I forgot her name. Robbins, I think, is her last name. Mel Robbins, maybe. Yeah, the let them theory. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. Maybe we can hit that someday. But I want to know what's going on, what's coming up with you, what's coming up for you.
Right. Well, so far I'm a bit more relaxed about this year. I've had to let go of my way of organization, and I'm just kind of shooting with with the flow. But yeah, as you know, I'm in a band and we play every weekend. Luckily enough, we've had this weekend off, so it's enabled me to reflect and get some energy back. But so I'm going to be out there performing with the covers band, and we go not all over the UK, but we tend to have it quite localized in the Middle East. Sorry, the East Midlands of the UK, and then moving not Middle East.
Important distinction. That's an important distinction. Yeah.
I'm glad I made it as well. Freudian slip there, but. Yeah, no, we play around Yorkshire as well, and so we're going to be doing that. Also, what's coming up with me? Lots more radio episodes. One with your good self included. I'm just kind of like nose to the grindstone. I'll be honest. One of the things I am looking forward to in my downtime is I was gifted for my big birthday, being the 50th,
yes,
from my family. They registered me with the what's it called? English Heritage Society. And with having that membership, it means that you can go and see some of these castles and stately homes and amazing locations around the UK. And all you have to do is just present this card and you can get in for free and go and have that experience. So in my downtime, I'm looking forward to exploring some of these locations. And I want to say sneakily, I may tune into them spiritually and vibrationally as well without anybody realizing. Because why not, eh? When you've got that opportunity right under your nose there. So I'm looking forward to that. For me, this year is all about not beating myself up, enjoying life, and not being afraid to say yes to life for myself. I've said it yes to life for everybody else, giving my time, energy, and I'm still going to do that, but within, like you said, the boundaries, restraints of some boundaries, healthy boundaries, so that everything is in balance. So
I love it.
I'm sorry I can't give you specifics. My brain's not good with specifics and dates and all of that. But generally speaking, that's what I'm going to be doing. What about you, good self?
I love it. I think my mic is acting up here. The only really big thing that I have coming up is CapCon. So, yeah, I am leading one of the Bigfoot hikes on May 8th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm excited about that. I have not done that with a group of people who are, coming to do that. So that's something new for me. I've done it with friends and family, gone out and just communicated with the Sasquatch families. So I'm excited about that. And then that's on Friday, May 8th. And then on Friday, May 9th is the actual convention. So it's a cryptid convention.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And it's cryptids, anomalies, and the paranormal. That's what CAP stands for. So that's what I'm excited about doing that. And then I will be doing a seance that evening for the CapCon. So that is the next big event I have